Hey everybody, and welcome to my In5 series on the SP404 Mark II, where I cover a topic in about 5 minutes. The Heavy Hearts Show wrote in asking how to best use a 8-bar loop in an 8-bar pattern. I'm not going to go do an 8-bar loop, but the 2-bar should work, and this will apply exactly the same. So let's start off and import a loop here. Honestly, the content shouldn't matter too much. What do we get that looks interesting? We'll go loops. Take a drum loop. Let's find something fun. All right, I'm gonna dig that. So I'm just gonna take this loop, and we can see here, it's good to know it's 120 for BPM. So first thing we want to do is, if you're on BPM auto, switch it to manual, and then you just push it on the enter button and you go to value. And we know that this is 120. So we're just going to dial in to 120. I'm not going to have it auto detect because I think this is probably going to be more accurate doing it this way. You can obviously go in and set some of your, if you hold shift down, you can set some of your time stretching. If you want your pitch to be separate from speed and stuff, that's up to you. It depends what you're looking for a sound, but we should immediately be able to play it, and it says 120, which is good. If we go shift pad 11, we can adjust the BPM. So we can do fun stuff like, oops, I'm gonna exit out. I'll turn BPM sync on, and you can hear it's now going to adjust the sound based on the BPM we set. So this is an important thing to do because this will make sure that if you adjust the BPM of your pattern, that the BPM of the loop will stay in sync. The next thing that's important to know, like normally we would turn loop on here. So if we're talking about loops, we're thinking about loops, we'd turn it on. Problem here is if you get a second trigger, it stops it. So first trigger starts it, second trigger stops it. This isn't typically the behavior you want when you are triggering content. And you also don't want gate because you got to hold it down. And then when you let go, it's going to stop playing, which can lead to some gaps. A feature that was introduced in the newer firmware is if you hold down enter and hit gate, you can put it from, instead of gate mode, it's now what's considered one-shot mode. And if I go to project, let's just crank this up a bit. Maybe we'll just do 120 to start. So now if I start it, it's going to keep playing until the end. So that's how the one-shot mode works. And then if I start it, if I hit it again, it's not going to re-trigger. The reason why this is important is that if we're in a pattern, you don't want to accidentally stop the loop that's playing. So what we can do now is if we go to bank E, I'm going to go record, and we'll just hit record. And I'm just going to trigger this. And now you're going to see it's going to stay in time, and it's going to keep playing. And this is actually a 4-bar loop. So the interesting thing to note here is every time that every 2 bars, it's basically sending that trigger, but it's playing through this loop and not restarting it. So if that's a behavior you want, and you just want to make sure you're playing the whole loop, then definitely consider the one-shot mode. If I switch it to loop, watch what happens. So it's going to start playing, and then it's going to stop because it gets that second trigger on the 1-1. And then it's going to start playing again, and then it's going to stop. So again, to set the one-shot mode, hold down enter and hit gate, and now it'll kind of keep playing. If you wanted to make it shorter, that's on you to kind of do that, or if you need to trigger more or anything, feel free. But I'm going to show you the same thing. We can come in here and let's just set this to 4 bars. So we just have the one trigger, and this will work just the same. So basically it's a way to, to build up patterns without having to go through and kind of adjust the trigger and all that. Again, one shot, and you can tell you're in one-shot mode because gate is blinking here. Just hold enter down and hit the gate button. You can turn one shot on and off. So I think that's probably pretty much it. Oh, I was actually going to show you. So if we go back to record, we can do fun things with BPM. So now we can slow down, and it stays pretty well in sync with this one-shot mode. So we can adjust the BPM as we go along, kind of dial it in. So anyway, guys, thanks for stopping by. I hope this helps. Keep making music, keep having fun. Remember, if it sounds good, it is good. And peace.